All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Nick Atkin on SCMP MMA, South China Morning Post Live, the post-fight podcast. It is April 21 here in Hong Kong. Nice sunny day outside, and it's going to be a great show. We got Ong La and Sang coming up in a few minutes for an interview, and then I'm going to be joined by Big Rig Drake Riggs to make some picks for one on TNT 3. Maybe some other people jumping in with me, just trying to figure that out now. But otherwise, it's me and Drake. But first, yes, we have one championship light heavyweight champ, Ong Lan Sang, up for an interview. He is obviously fighting next week on one on TNT4 in the main event against Vitali Big Dash. That's right, it's a solo Slick Nick show at the moment. Alan Bones Jones in the chat. What's up, Alan? Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Always appreciate the support, Alan. Especially when I'm on my own doing things like this and I have to talk by myself and don't have a guest to bounce off of. I appreciate it. Please do get your questions in, your comments. Hopefully I can ask a few to Ong Lan Sang when he turns up. He should be here in about 8 minutes, so 9 a.m. my time. 7 minutes now, wherever you are in the world, coming up soon. Ong Lan Sang interview. He will be back live on the SCMP MMA post-fight podcast. Should be a great show. Thank you, everyone, for commenting as well. See some familiar faces in the chat. Like to hear it. We should have about 15 minutes with Ong La, and then we're going to get into some picks. So, yeah, Drake and I will be here. We'll be going through all of our one on TNT 3 picks. Make sure you have downloaded Fanatics Fantasy MMA if you have not yet. The link is in the description, I do believe. If it's not there, it's now on the yellow ticker. There you go. SCMP MMA's group on getfanatics.app/SCMP. Download it. Join our group, make your picks against us, compete against us. It's not difficult to beat me. I'm not very good at making picks. So you'll beat someone at least. But there's about 220 people in our group now. You don't have to just be in our group. You can make your own group with your friends, your buddies, your work colleagues, whatever. Compete against them. Here you go. There you go. Fanatics there. Thanks for making this interview. Got a chance to meet the champ. Yeah. Ong La, we've had Ong La live on the show a couple of times. It's always great fun. Alan Bones Jones asking, what's your favorite Pride fighter ever and Grand Prix fight ever? Is this for Ong La or for me, Alan? Let me know. I'm probably not the best person to ask about Pride then. Not too clued up on Pride, but Seppi a lot asking, will Ong La be talking about the situation in Myanmar at all? I know he's been outspoken. Well, yeah, last time I spoke to Ong, he actually opened up about the Myanmar situation for the first time, I think, to any media. He hadn't done any interviews for maybe a month when it happened at the beginning of February, I believe. And then I spoke to him around about beginning of March, maybe mid-March. And he unloaded on it all. And he didn't have to. I wasn't going to ask him. I didn't feel too comfortable because I know he didn't want to talk about it, but he opened up. It was a really good interview. So go and check that out on SCMP MMA's YouTube channel. We wrote an article on it, and that exploded, went all over the internet. And now I saw MMA Junkie Radio spoke to Ong and Martin yesterday, and he spoke about the Myanmar situation there. I see he's calling on Joe Biden to intervene and to make a statement. So hopefully this all gets some momentum for Ong's cause to help Myanmar, and hopefully he gets to show the situation at one on TNT4. I'm sure it's going to get a lot of eyeballs. And this is important. He can make a difference. But I can ask him some questions about that, but I thought we'd just ask him about the fight maybe because we've already spoke to about Myanmar, but I'm sure I'll check in. It's an important thing to keep banging the drum and to keep the pressure up on the situation. So we can do that. Other questions for him. Okay, yeah. Definitely. I'm Pride my knowledge isn't so great, Alan. Thank you. I will ask him, but for me, what's been my favorite UFC fight ever, then fight card ever? Favorite fight ever. I'm trying to wreck my brain. I think I have weird tastes, but it's a bit obvious to say. But I think Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk last year was spectacular. I don't know if I've seen anything else that tops that, really. Off the top of my head, I can't think. I'd have to actually sit down. It's a little bit early in the morning, and I've just kind of rolled out of bed as well, so I'm not feeling too bright. But yeah, my favorite card ever. That's another good question. I think maybe I really enjoyed the Madison Square Garden card when they first returned there. I think in November 2017. Is that right? Bisping against GSP. I think Joanna was on that as well, and she lost to Rose. That was a really good card. I think there were 3 title fights. That was an awesome show. Or maybe that was the year after. No, Connor was the first one when they returned, wasn't he, against Eddie? Yeah, so the year after that, 2018, I think it was, or I'm getting my numbers mixed up. I think it was 2016 they returned, and 2017 is the one I'm talking about, indeed. But Seppi Lot, does Onglar generate the most clicks for you guys out of any fighter? He gets the most YouTube views for sure, or he used to before the Myanmar government banned social media and things like that. So people in Myanmar simply cannot get on the YouTube and Facebook. A lot of people can't. I believe that's what he told me. So the numbers for Onglar's interviews are not as crazy as they used to be, but in the past we've had hundreds of thousands of views on interviews with him, or tens of thousands at least. One of them broke 100,000, and when we did a fight companion for his return fight Inside the Matrix against Renier Derrida, we had insane numbers on the fight companion. We gained about 6,000 subscribers on the channel, and we had 70,000 concurrent viewers on there. It was crazy. Galactus MMA says, I got the vaccine today and there's justice for George Floyd. This is a great day. Happy 420, everyone. It is a great day, Galactus. And I hope everything is going okay with you in the vaccine there. I had my first shot a couple of weeks ago, and it knocked me out. I was asleep for ages, for about 3 days. I've got my second one coming up. I hear that's worse. It is a great day. I'm so glad there's been justice for George Floyd. Also, if you're a football fan, and I don't want to equate these two as being as important each other, but this has made me happy as well that the proposed Super League has been scrapped. This European Super League proposed by 12 clubs in European soccer has been scrapped after 2 days. The fans all stood up together and said, we don't want this. And I woke up to the news it's gone, and that Ed Woodward has resigned from my club, Manchester United, and hopefully the Glazer family will follow him out the door. They also own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think. Yeah, the guys who just won the Super Bowl. Hopefully they can go focus on that and leave my club alone, stop stealing money from it and leeching us off us like an ATM. Alan, thanks for giving all these great ONE Championship fighters a platform for MMA fans worldwide who aren't the most well-known with these great fights from ONE. Yeah, I love interviewing fighters from ONE. I love speaking to them. They're all really humble, all really nice. They all got time. I'm not saying other fighters from other organizations aren't those things, but ONE is just... I get on well with them. I've been to more shows with them. I've kind of interacted with a lot of them in hotels and things like that, in the lobbies and fight weeks at shows and post-fight press conferences. I just have better rapport with them, so it makes interviews easier when you know someone, I think. 217 was a fantastic card. I'm sure I've got plenty of other cards I like more than that. To be honest, that one in last month with Adesanya and Blachowicz and the 3 title fights there, that was incredible. And also I really liked the Usman Covington card, 3 title fights again. It's those ones where they just stack it. It's not necessarily the ones where you have that big headliner. Those are the ones I really like, Alan. Is cannabis legal in China? I don't smoke, and Hong Kong is slightly different. I think it's definitely not legal in China, as far as I know. I don't think it's legal in Hong Kong, but I don't think it's cracked down upon as much, and I don't think it's policed as much, and I don't think it's severe as much. The punishment for being caught with it, I don't know. I'm not really a smoker or anything like that. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus who is on the show, so I will not give any names or any one of my colleagues, but I don't smoke so much. I'm not very good with it. I'm a bit of a weakling. Masvidal versus Wonderboy. That's it. Rose versus Joanna. Garbrandt, Dillashaw, Bisping, GSP was phenomenal. That is the one, 217, right? Yeah, I think so. My favorite aspect of combat sports. Do you mean like which part of MMA? I don't know. I'm kind of old school. I want to say wrestling. It was weird. I don't know. I think that's boring, but I actually like when you get that kind of chess match of two wrestlers and the grappling side of it. And striking for me is always fun, but I like Muay Thai in one championship and the kickboxing, but I always feel like the fights are missing something. So I think when you add in that extra element MMA has, that's what I like. Super League was scrapped. Thank God, that's good news. Indeed. Check the news; it's all over. I'm so happy with that. Really, really. I was not looking forward. I was thinking of not. I'm gonna have to give up supporting my club after 30 years or whatever, how long I've been supporting them. Brad saying, I hope to see one championship fights on TNT once or twice a month. Yes, I want to see them get a renewed deal, definitely too. I also want to see them back. I don't know when it will be. I presume it's not going to be soon because these things take time. You have to sign contracts. You have to get everything sorted out. But I would love actually a weekly show, Brad, but I would like it to be 2 hours long. And I would like it to be live if possible. But I know that's not always possible. But I think 2 hours and you can front load a card with two big MMA fights, and then you can have two Super Series fights afterwards. If for anyone who wants to scratch that itch until midnight and just watch some fights, you could have a Muay Thai fight, a kickboxing fight, whatever, what have you. But front load it so you get that lead in from AEW. Then you've got a big MMA fight, maybe a title fight, and something like that. Yeah, but it's difficult. I don't have the magic answers. I don't know the secret to success. I'm sure one championship has access to all that data more than me, and they know more about what works. But yeah, congrats to the world for that football news, says Galactus. Power to the people. Indeed, it's a rare victory for football fans. You don't often see fans getting their voices heard in major sports like this. So really glad to see that. Did you enjoy Strike Force during its run? Again, Alan, I wasn't big on Strike Force. I'm a fairly new convert to MMA. I think I didn't actually get on board the train until about 2012. I'm trying to rack my head for when I did. Yes, I'm a noob, essentially. So, good morning, says Migs. Any fighters you want to interview soon? I don't have a bucket list of fighters or anything. I just take what's available and what comes my way. Sometimes I get thrown a big name. Sometimes I ask for big names and things just fall into play. I actually just interviewed Chris Weidman, the All-American, former UFC middleweight champ, right before I jumped on here. Look out for that interview. Hopefully I'll get that up today. And, John's always pumping out the interviews for us. I also spoke to Janet Todd, JT, yesterday. Hopefully get that out today. I just go with the flow, Migs. I never really know what's going to happen one week to next. Sometimes I get the interview the day before. I mean, Chris Weidman, they told me about like 6 p.m. yesterday. So I had to readjust my whole plan for today. But it's fun. It's a fun challenge. Cannabis legal in Cambodia. You have to ask the Cambodian king, Leon Jennings, Alan. So we'll check back with him next time. Galactus saying his favorite card of all time was when Nate beat Connor and Tate beat Holm. Yeah, that was a good card as well. I remember that. I was in Birmingham covering the Davis Cup tennis for ESPN UK when Andy Murray put Great Britain through against Japan. And I watched the Connor fight at about 5 a.m. or whatever it was, which was a bad idea given I had to be at the tennis stadium at about 10 a.m. And I actually lost my glasses on the night out, so I had to watch the tennis without any glasses. I couldn't even see the ball, but it was worth it to see that fight. That was brilliant. More questions here. Sorry, I'll try and get to them all. I don't know where Ongla is. Try and chase him up. Yes, and also, do you prefer respect between the competitors, or do you enjoy the trash talk? I always say, Alan, that I enjoy a little bit of trash talk. I'm not gonna say as long as it doesn't go too far. I think trash talk is trash talk, and a lot of the times it's just selling the fight. It's not actually that personal. I do say even when it goes overboard, I do enjoy the car crash aspect of it. It's just we are simple human beings, aren't we? We enjoy seeing that kind of stuff, and I think the whole entertainment world or sporting world revolves around. Look, Jake Paul just sold 2 million pay-per-views. on this thing with Ben Askren, and that was a lot of trash talk in that one. It's usually all good after the fight. You do get some rivalries which don't heal, like Khabib and Conor, but I'm not going to say I don't enjoy trash talk, and I'm kind of glad that ONE Championship has stopped the whole thing of we don't do trash talk. I think they allow it now, which is better for them, better for fans. It just brings more fans in. Honestly, it brings more casual eyes onto sport, onto the promotion, which can only be a good thing. If you have this holier than thou attitude, I think it turns off some fans, especially because most fight fans do like a bit of that. Do you think the convenience of tape delay for ONE will make them continue doing it after the pandemic is over? Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, Sepulot, and I do think they may now see that as the way forward because it's cheaper, isn't it, for them than putting on 2-3 live shows a month. They can just rent a stadium for one time a month, and then they can record 2 other cards before it. I do like when they kind of move around Southeast Asia and put on these shows, twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, like having the different feel of a live audience, of a live, a different setting, a different city. And, they have the equipment is all kind of stored in each country, I think. So it's not too expensive to move around for them. But I can see, with the financial effects of the pandemic, it may impact how they do it. So we'll see how it goes. I would think that a TV deal with TNT, if they can secure a permanent deal, the money from that will be more money than they can earn from anything in terms of live gates on any of the shows they do. So it may mean they just do the shows anyway, but it's a lot of money. TNT, just ask AEW, they'll tell you. It's the most important revenue for them. They should be focusing all their eggs in that basket of getting the TNT deal, and then they won't have to be pre-recorded, I think. How long is ONE Championship's deal with TNT and wanting me to go to? I think it's just this series of shows obviously runs out in April, but they have a deal already with them to show replays of events, at strange hours of the night, midnight, 2 a.m. I don't know how long that deal runs, Alan, but I don't think this current one of ONE on TNT shows is anything more than a 4-week run for these primetime shows. So there will have to be a new contract arranged for that. Migs saying, I assumed that ONE on TNT3 was pre-recorded, but why does it seem that it's live based on the social media posts of fighters? It is pre-recorded. ONE on TNT4 next week will be live, but 3 was pre-recorded. I think ONE just asks its fighters to push out and promote the shows, even if it's been pre-recorded, just to generate some buzz for it, Migs. That's it. And often one fighter will not post about it, and the one that does tends to make me believe they are the ones who won the fight, because I understand you wouldn't want to promote your fight if you just lost it. So, but I've tried that technique several times when making picks for shows, and it doesn't always work. So yeah, there we go. Let me see this. ONE Championship is legit contender for number 2 MMA promotion in the world, says Galactus. Can you see it surpassing UFC someday soon? I do think ONE is number 2 with Bellator, and in terms of the money it pays to its top fighters, I think you can argue that. So in terms of numbers, they did really well with the ratings last week. And can you see it surpassing UFC someday soon? I can't, just because UFC is the brand. A lot of people think MMA is UFC. They think UFC is a sport. They don't think MMA is a sport. So it's very difficult to get that brand awareness away and out of people's heads. And I do think ONE has a problem with its name. ONE, for various reasons, and I'm a bit strange. I'm a weirdo. I think about these things. When you type in ONE into a Google search engine, you don't get ONE Championship up straight away. When you type ONE into Twitter, you don't get ONE Championship up straight away. Because ONE is a real word, right? They need an acronym again, like ONE FC. UFC brings you straight to that. These kind of things help with brand awareness with Google searches. Obviously, they have one championship as a name, but that's kind of long and long-winded. It's not easy to just type out. And this is small things, but I think about these things. I would like to see them go back to ONE FC. Now that they've dropped the whole aversion to trash talk, maybe they can drop the aversion to having the word fighting in their name or in their acronym. ONE FC, a lot of people still think it's called ONE FC. A lot of fans who I interact with on here, and a lot of fighters I speak to still refer to it as ONE FC. So, and their website is still onefc.com, you know, because they can't get the rights to one championship. I think they've still got to use that. Anyway, can't wait for that interview coming up with Weidman. Yeah, I can't wait to get it out there. It was really fun. He's a really nice guy. Galactus, thank you for the compliment as well. Thank you for being a fan of the shows and interacting. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all asking questions and keeping me busy at the moment because Onglar is not here. I don't know where he is. I hope he turns up because I've advertised him as being on the show. Greetings from Brazil, says Rodolfo. Greetings, Rodolfo. JWP's been posting a lot. Yeah, you know, I picked Hoskin, but John Wayne Parr is really promoting this fight a lot. Maybe he's promoting it because it's his big return and his debut in ONE, and if it just goes to a decision, there's not any embarrassment in that, things like that. I certainly wouldn't think a fighter would post about a fight if they get knocked the F out, you know. But that's it. I'm just trying to find out where wrong is. The text, Tammy. Here we go. Thoughts and predictions on Bellator's light heavyweight Grand Prix semifinals between Ryan Bader and Corey Anderson and Vadim Nemkov versus the final first round winner of Yoel Romero versus Anthony Johnson. I'm not the most clued up on Bellator, but I do know these fighters, and I do think Corey Anderson will beat Ryan Bader. I think Corey Anderson is very underrated. Definitely top 10 in UFC, and ran into Jan Blachowicz, you know, who has knocked out a lot of people we've seen. So that was no bad thing. You know, Corey on his day could be top 5 UFC. Vadim Nemkov looks really good. He's a beast. That's a really interesting one. Yoel Romero versus Anthony Johnson. I really don't know how that's going to go. My head would say Yoel. And then Nemkov versus Yoel. I think Nemkov may have just enough kind of tactical nous to get around Yoel. But I am not the guru on Bellator, so I won't pretend I am. Galactus says, I liked ONE FC a lot better. Yeah, I think there's just a bit more name recognition and brand value with that. Do you know what I mean? It's like one championship is quite long and hard to say and write. And especially when I'm writing headlines, it takes up a lot of space. So I wouldn't mind a little acronym like that. Who do you think will take the whole tournament for Bellator? I think I think Nemkov. Really, I think he's really damn good, and people don't realize yet. Although he showed that against Phil Davis, I think it was. I think he'll have enough to take the tournament and keep the title. Rodolfo, but again, yeah, my Bellator. I'm not the guy to ask. You want to ask JHK? He might be in the chat later, so maybe we can get his thoughts on that. He's on the rankings panel for Bellator, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. For me, it's just hard to keep a track of Bellator because I cover ONE and UFC pretty religiously for SCMP, so that takes up a lot of my free time as well. So when I do have free time, it's not often I watch other MMA in it because I have to actually relax my brain and unwind it a bit by doing something else other than MMA, like playing PlayStation. But I definitely watched a bit of Bellator last week, and I'm going to try and catch more of the shows. I'm going to try and catch PFL this week. Yeah, it's just never ending. This month has been crazy. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. Like I am. Rodolfo says ONE Championship has good fights, and I like the recent events. One point which impressed me is the atmosphere in the shows. Yeah, Rodolfo, I mean, I've been to a bunch of shows for ONE, and they have really good atmosphere. They have really good production. The stage is really fun, and you know they have really good lighting. I know these sounds like they don't really matter, but it does add a little bit extra. And when you've got a full arena, you know, in Manila, it's always packed because they stack the card up with Filipino fighters from Team Lakay and other stables, and then there's always a lot of atmosphere there. Tokyo is always a good one at the what's the name? Rio Goku I've forgotten the sumo hall. And where else has been good? Yeah, Kuala Lumpur was always packed. It's always a fun time, especially if you got a big fight. I just really love the production side of it. Mig's saying, I saw an interview that John Wayne would want to work for one as an executive, similar to how Misha Tate did. Well, I bet he would, because as Misha said in her interview with Tom Taylor on our channel, she got paid really well by one, and didn't seem like she had to do too much. She had to just kind of be an ambassador for MMA. She brought a bit of name value and respect with her, legitimacy. I think I'm trying to find that word. But what did Misha do? She was just kind of a figurehead, I guess. And John Wayne Parr, I think that would be a great role for him as well. I wanted to see Misha do more with one. I wanted to see Misha on commentary, things like that, an analyst. I don't think they used Misha as well as they should have, or as much as they could have. But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, yeah, those were my thoughts. I should read these comments before I go through them. Connor just tweeted that he wants to buy Man U. Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Conor McGregor says he wants to buy Man United. Well, look, I don't know if Connor's got the spare 3 or 4 billion pounds it will take. I don't know Connor's net worth or valuation, but I think he would find it hard to get 4 billion, although maybe he can do it in some way. I wouldn't mind that. Conor McGregor is a winner. He obviously brings a lot of name value to that as well. A lot of eyes on it. He's a Man United fan, which is important as well. The Glazers were not Man United fans. They didn't care about the club. They didn't want anyone to actually succeed there. They didn't want to win titles. They just wanted to put in. They never spent a cent of their own money. That was the important thing. They just used money generated by the club, put a little bit of it into the buying players, and then took a bunch of it out for themselves when they have a lot more than that. Conor, I think he would be a fan. He would want to see the team win. He's a winner. I don't know if it's possible, though. But it's not always the best thing when a fan buys a club. You do want... But at least he'd have passion, not just a soulless businessman. Anyway, still chasing up Ong Lan Sang. I don't know where he is. I will try and find out. Here we go. More questions. Who's the next logical challenger for Brandon Vera's one heavyweight title? I think you're going to have to see a few more fights play out first, Alan. I think if Kang had fought Buchecha as they were scheduled to on the last week's one on TNT 3 card, and he had beaten Buchecha, that would have put Kang in a great spot. I think Amir Ali Akbari's got to get a win. If what's his face had beaten Amir Ali Akbari, I can't remember the name of the guy who was scheduled to fight him. Again, it's very early morning. But if he'd beaten Amir, I think he would have been in a great spot. Because he also got a good win on that same card that Amir lost. Oh God, what is his name? Trying to think. You've got Mauro Chirilli, I guess, is in the mix. I'm gonna find this guy's name right now. Anatoly Malikin, that's it. Yeah. Sorry, Anatoly. He's 9-0. He's undefeated. He won his one championship debut, so he's in the mix definitely. It's just a fun division again now, and you've got a bunch of new blood in there. Buchecha, like I mentioned, Dustin Johnson out of Canada, he's undefeated, 6-0. Tom DeBlas, interesting to see him there. Vitor Belfort, I don't think Vitor's ever gonna fight in one. I just think he's done. I think he's just an ambassador now. Yeah. Mir Ali Akbari, see if he can turn things around. Arjun Bulla, though, is definitely the next challenger, Alan. I should have said that off the bat, actually. Although I presumed you knew, or you said who's next after Arjan, but Arjan will fight Brandon next. I think they're going to put that on the... It'll be pre-recorded, I think, before the Empower Atomweight Grand Prix stuff, I think, as will Martin's fight. These are just my guesses because I don't think there's another live show until May 28th after next week. So I think they will load up the fights before that live show, and they'll prepare a few cards they can tape to roll out over June. PlayStation 4 or 5. I mean, I'm a 5 guy, but I would have been a 4 guy if I didn't have a 5. You know what I mean? I'm PlayStation for life, Alan. What do you think about One Championship would have to do to get a video game? I think, depending on how good the game is, could also benefit them. There was a bit of chatter actually. I think late last year or early this year about a video game, and I asked Chatri about it, and he said, get ready for big news coming soon about this game, and then nothing happened. I figure if they did tease something, I think it would probably just be like a mobile game. But the other thing I think is maybe they could link up with Dukes, who are doing the AEW game. Given the TNT connection, maybe AEW games can do something with One Championship there, use the same fighter engine, whatever it's called, do something like that. I would love to see a One Championship game. I really would. I love those things. Here we go. The Ong Big Dash trilogy is on One TNT 4, yeah? Says Adam, that is correct. It's the headliner next week live. Connor could probably buy the UFC for less money than you. Exactly. Chris is right. 4 billion, I think, is the valuation. I think it's a similar valuation. There you go. I don't think it's going to happen either, though. Connor's Mexican business partners took over his whiskey company. They didn't take part. They took over, says Galactus. Yeah, I didn't know about that. But well, I don't think Conor McGregor is going to buy Man United at the end of the day. What's been your favorite AEW pay-per-view so far and Dynamite so far? Did you watch pro wrestling growing up? Yeah, Alan, I've always been into wrestling since I can remember. I think like 1994 is as far back as I remember. Maybe 92. Yeah, 92, when I was about 5 years old. Watching old WWF. I kind of stopped watching finally a few years ago when I moved out here because it got so ridiculous. When what's his name was the champ. Can't remember his name. Jinder Mahal. Yeah, they were trying to pander to the Indian market, and they moved Jinder Mahal, who's a great guy by all accounts, and everyone loves him in the locker room, but he wasn't really ready for that push, and they moved him from the bottom of the card to the top. It was very strange. I stopped watching. AEW has really reignited my interest in wrestling. My favorite AEW pay-per-view so far. I don't know if it counts, but I think all Out before they actually became AEW, that was amazing. That's the thing that set them off on the path to where they winded up going, and I think that's one of the most important pay-per-views of all time in wrestling history, because that really set up everything with Tony Khan coming in. My favorite Dynamite so far, that Winter is Coming one they did in December with the when Moxley won the belt, when Omega won the belt of Moxley. That whole card was incredible. Really enjoyed that show. So many angles. I think Sting debuted as well. Just madness from start to end. Adam asking, am I the only one who thinks it's crazy the winner of Gaffro versus Oak is making such a quick turnaround for Eddie? LOL. Well, it was like, it's not this week, so it's not live. So it would have been 2 weeks ago now. And then, if it's a quick win, if it's like a first round knockout or a submission, not too much damage taken, not too much damage on the hands of like dealing out damage. If you've gone in there, got the job done, why not have a quick turnaround and face Eddie Alvarez? That's probably a money fight. They're probably getting paid a lot of money for it. They're probably getting a lot of eyeballs on them from the US. Gafarov and Oka fighting on the undercard, so they're on BR. This fight against Eddie is going to be on the main card of one on TNT 4, so they're going to have a lot of eyeballs on them. It's good for your career. And if you can be the guy who knocks off Eddie Alvarez, again, that's good for your career. It propels you into a better position with one and a better position with the money you can ask for your next fight. It's a win-win, I think. Nien asking, who should Renier defend his belt against? I think it's about time he does a title defense. I think Renier should fight against Abasov. He should defend. Abasov should go up and challenge Renier. Hello, John. How are you?
Good, man. Just decided to hop on. I got another interview coming up in about a half hour, so I'm gonna have to hop off in a little bit. But yeah, just wanted to. I seen you alone over here. What did you talk to Ung already?
He hasn't turned up yet. I'm trying to find out where he is. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just message the. I've just been having fun with all the people in the chat. Yeah, they've been asking some fun questions. Have not been stalling for time actually. It's been really fun. We've got some more here. Doesn't Chivello know the results already? Yeah, he does. So we did an interview with him yesterday, and he kind of knew them all. But he, as the professional he is, he didn't give the secrets away. John, I don't know if you didn't see it, but he's a good hype man, Chivello. He's able to sell you a fight even though it's already happened. Yeah. Who have you just been interviewing?
I just interviewed Jackie Buntan. I just talked to her. And then before that, I talked to Phil Haas, and I talked to Johnny Eblin. Phil Haas, UFC middleweight. Johnny Eblin, UFC Bellator middleweight, number 6 ranked, I believe. One of them's from American Top Team, the other one's from Sanford MMA. South Florida is just a hotbed, man, of just killers, man. At those two gyms,
Absolutely.
it's insane. But
hopefully
yeah,
we're gonna have one of them on.
I'm gonna be speaking with Carlos Diego Pejeda next in about a half hour, and then after that tonight I have a couple more interviews and then a podcast. Today's a busy day, man. One of the busier days of the week. Just
this whole week is going to be insane for me, so I'm just leaning into it, man. Next 10 days, actually, I'm not going to have a day off for the next 10. I'm going straight through UFC 261 to straight into what's it called, 1 on TNT 4 fight week. It's going to be back-to-back madness. Just going to embrace the madness. But at the end of it, you may not see me for like a week, everyone. I'm going to just close the curtains in my apartment and crawl into bed and cry.
Until 262.
Yeah. That's it.
When's 262? 262's what's the date on that? That is on May 15th. So you're only gonna have a couple weeks probably. And then you'll be back on 262, right?
Yeah. I will probably just take a week because I've got to get my vaccine second jab anyway on May the 2nd. So that times out quite nicely. And apparently that really fucks you up. So I need to take a few days off anyway. So I'll be back in place. I don't think there'll be a one show that week. So that probably helps me. And then maybe I'll be back in place for the Sunday of the UFC. We'll see. I haven't even thought about what's coming up, what's next in the UFC world after this show. Have a little look. Fight night. Reyes. Oh, God, I can't miss that one. That's the day I get my vaccine. All right, maybe I'll work that day, watch Reyes v. Prohaska, then get my jab, and then
on Sunday?
disappear.
You get shots on Sunday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really? Damn, they're working overtime. Man, I haven't even heard anything about any vaccines over here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's weird. It's weird. Like, I guess, like, the Korean government is, like, not really worried about it, so.
Oh, yeah, Alan was asking me earlier about the Bellator Grand Prix, and I said you might be a little bit better at predicting a winner. So who you got, Johnny boy?
If I was going to pick a winner, I'll take Ryan Bader, man. He's proven. We don't know what we're going to get with Yoel, because one of them's going to knock off the other, right? So I could see Rumble going in there, but we don't know. We haven't seen Rumble in a long time. Romero, that's just going to be an insane fight, I think. And whoever wins, I think Ryan Bader will probably have a tougher time against Romero. But who knows? You know what I mean? But I'd take Ryan Bader to come back. But Nemkov is a monster, man. I didn't even see that. He's a monster, so it's hard to say. It's hard to pick who's gonna win. But I would say the favorite is Nemkov. I think I've said that before. I think Nemkov is a favorite. He's the champ, and he showed you in his last fight against who did he fight? Phil Davis, that he can make adjustments and he did really well. You know what I mean? It's not the most exciting style, but he wins, man, and that's what you're picking. You're picking the winner, not the most exciting guy. If you're gonna pick the most exciting guy, you're gonna go with Romero. I think Rumble's probably the most exciting guy.
Yeah, I agree. I actually went for Nemkov as well. Oh, here he is, Big Rig.
What's up, dudes?
Drake? Hello. How you doing? Not Onglar either, but
Nope. I saw John hopped in, so I was like, I want to join the party.
yeah,
Get
get
in here.
involved, man. Here he is. It's the terrible trio
The
is back.
terrible trio back at it. You're looking good, Nick. You're looking svelte, man. You have neglected me since I was last on the
No,
road, man. I
not
haven't been on.
neglected, man. Just wanted to give you. I know you work so hard. Didn't want to put
Thanks.
more on your plate. You got your own podcast you're dealing with and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't want to overstress you. I know you had COVID, so I thought let Drake heal up. How are you feeling, Drake? Everyone has been looking forward to having you back on the show, and we're glad to see you.
Yeah. Happy to be here, man. Happy to be healthy again because it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I wasn't afraid of dying or anything, but it's just so annoying, like having this like lingering sickness cloud like above your head for like 2 full weeks, and especially for someone like me who normally, like, not to brag, but I don't get sick like very often. It's like maybe once every 2 years, and that's only for like 2 days. So when it's something that just lasts for
Yeah.
a lot longer than that, I'm like, jeez, man, this get it, just stop. Just please stop. So yeah, we're all good now though, thankfully, and so here we are.
In Jacksonville. How's
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Exciting?
I mean, tired. You know, the travel day always is kind of exhausting just from getting everything situated. But yeah, it's cool to be in Jacksonville. It's not super hot or humid like I would have imagined from hearing what Florida's like. But cool to be here, home of the Jaguars, my second favorite NFL team, which I'm ashamed of admitting at this point. But I'm right. I can see the stadium from where I'm staying, which is really cool. So I'll probably go check it out at some point when I have some free time.
Okay.
I remember seeing Mark Brunell at the airport in I don't it was in Jacksonville. It was Tampa, I believe, Tampa, Florida. And man, he had the biggest head in the world. I swear to God. Just
Bigger than
that's what I
Tito?
thought when I saw him. I was like, God, his head looks like a TV. Just gigantic, you know what I mean? I was like, that's what you need to be a football player. You just got to have a big head and just be massive. And he was the quarterback. He was the quarterback, right? He was good
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
A
he was
lot of people
solid.
forget Mark Brunell, man. He was good.
Yeah.
Someone's
he was
got a bit
definitely-
of buzz. Sorry, it might be Big Rig.
Oh,
There's some kind of feedback. I don't know. There you go. That's nice. Here you go. There's a question for you, John.
Hmm.
On Fanatics, the greatest app of all time, as Chris points out. Have you backed Reese McLaren over? You have backed Reese McLaren over Wakamatsu. Why so?
Did I?
I don't know. Says
I don't
Chris.
remember. I don't even remember my picks. Let me see. Let me go look at my picks. Okay. So I picked Lineker, Reese. Yeah, I did pick Reese. But that could change in the next, couple of days. I just put these
You
picks
still got
in,
time.
you know,
You can flip flop. You
momentarily.
got a few more days.
Yeah, so I could flip flop, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get some secret information from
That's
people around the world. So it is what it is. But
That's it.
one thing we know for sure is you cannot make picks off what social media is telling you. That's one thing we should know for sure.
Is Drake back? What's going on with the microphone, Big Rig?
is it good? Is it better?
Yeah, that's
it actually
fine.
does.
Okay.
There you go.
I was using the my 20-foot XLR cord just for extra length, but I guess I don't need it. So I guess that was doing something.
You don't need any more length, Big Rig.
No,
You're
man,
right.
I got 50 feet now, so we're all good.
That's the rig.
The
The
big
rig is, you know what they
it,
say when
man.
they do the rig.
Damn right.
Oh my goodness.
People think big rig is for like Johnny Hendricks or like he's like a truck driver or something. Nah, man, it's something else.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
You know?
I've just got contact from one PR team, and they say Ong he's at dinner and it's overrun a little bit, but we're hopefully going to get him on still a bit later. So, as Adam is pointing out, have you made your picks yet? Maybe we'll do that now instead first, just while we have John as well. We can do them quickly, John, if you still got time, and if you need to leave, just get the hell out
Yeah.
of here. And
Yeah.
all right, let's bring that up now then quickly. One Championship is back this week, obviously. One on TNT 3. We're going to make our picks now. Headlined by John Lineker against Troy Worthen. This card has kind of been changed, chopped and changed so many times, but it still turns out pretty well here. So let's make our picks. We're going to start with that main event, big main event. This is huge. It was originally going to be John Lineker against Stephen Lohman. Plans changed, as Vince McMahon says, or Dave Meltzer says, sorry, about Vince McMahon. John Lineker against Troy Worthen. Who you got, John? You've gone for John Lineker. So have I. So has Chris. So has Drake. Still got a bunch of people there who have not picked it. I'm going to put it on screen. But John, explain yourself. I'm not saying that's an outlandish pick, but why do you think Lineker takes this?
Oh man, Lineker's Lineker, man. If he hits you, you're gonna go down, and I feel like his wrestling, his defensive wrestling, is probably good enough to where he'll stay off the ground and you know and be able to land up one of those power shots, especially to the body. Troy Worthen, he's coming off his first loss as a professional. He is a good wrestler, but it all depends on, I think, the game plan Troy Worthen comes out with. Is if he wrestles and he continues to wrestle and try to wear down Lineker, I think that he has a good chance of winning this fight. But if he stands out there in the middle and wants to trade with Lineker and gets caught up in that, man, it's not going to be a fun night for Troy Worthen. And also, Troy Worthen's coming in here, seems like on short notice. I feel like if you were going to pick one of the fighters that needed time to prepare for the other, you'd think Troy Worthen would be the one that would be more into formulating a game plan. I think Lineker's game plan is to just knock your head off. There's nothing to it. That's his game plan. Knock your head off. Kill this guy. And which means Lineker can go fight anybody and he'll do the same thing. Only wrestler that I saw like really control Lineker was TJ Dillashaw, and you know, he might have been on EPO during that time, who knows. So I don't think Troy Worthen is like at that level of TJ Dillashaw, so that's why I'm taking Lineker.
Good shout. Big Rig also gone for Lineker. You on that Lineker train, baby?
Yep, I am on the Hands of Stone bandwagon of sorts. I like everything that John said, and mentioning the TJ Dillashaw fight too is it's a good example, and especially when you look at where TJ potentially was at that point. Even then, though, I don't remember him holding Lineker down for like that long. Like, he definitely got him down, but Lineker is very good at keeping people off of him more often than not, and a TJ is an exception, especially that potential TJ, as I said. And in this matchup here with Worthen and just most people, right, it's like, not to knock him or anything, but Lineker, I think, is proven to be a good step ahead of most people. Like, you look at his last so many fights, I mean, I think that you could argue he's only lost to Dillashaw since that Bagautinov fight in 2014. Like, legitimately, the Sandhagen fight was incredibly close, and it was 30-27s both directions. I actually thought he won all three rounds as well. That was a very unique fight to score, but there's obviously a case to be made for him against Sandhagen, who Sandhagen is obviously incredible in his own right. So you just cannot go out there and bang against a guy like John Lineker. And I think that the game plan that John also mentioned of trying to wear him out at 145 pounds is probably a good idea, because not many people have really tried or been successful at that. Even Dillashaw, when he did beat him and neutralize him with the approach he had, Lineker was still coming the whole time. And even if you look back at that John Dodson fight in Portland, actually the very first UFC event that I went to, Lineker went the full 5 and won that fight. So his cardio is pretty solid. But if there's one way that is a good path to victory against him, it would be to do that and try to win that way, like John said. But way easier said than done. The guy just hits so hard. He's relentless. Hands of stone for a reason, man. And I just think he'll end up catching Worthen here.
Okay. Yeah, I've gone for that as well. I think most people on the app have gone for that. You can see the 85% of people have picked him, I think. Is that the stat? Yes, 85% for John Lineker, 15 for Worthen. Not heavy favorite, both plus 100. That seems a little strange to me here. I don't know about the odds there. Mikey Boy at Fanatics. We'll see. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Who?
Mike at Fanatics. I don't know. You only met John, right? James Bell. Michael also there.
No, I know Michael.
Okay,
He's the one who produces the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. How about this then? Yuya
Hey,
Wakamatsu.
before we get into the next fight, this Michael Owens that you guys do the show with, right? The fight
Yeah.
companion. Is there two Michael Owens? Because I've seen another guy named Michael Owens who does like interviews and stuff. Is that the same guy?
Yes, Michael Owens does some interviews for One Championships website, I think, as well. So
No, because the Michael Owens that I've seen, he's like doing interviews with like PFL fighters and UFC guys, and
yeah, that
is this
might be
the
him
same?
as well.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the same guy.
he's not just one. That I just know him from one, but yeah, he's like a freelance MMA writer. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Big Rig just tagged me in something on Twitter. Let's see.
Tweeting the
Gotta
stream, bro.
give that a retweet. Yeah, tweet the stream. Ongla, I've just found out Ongla will be eventually joining us. So anyone who's tuned in for that, hang around. We'll just do our Fanatics stuff. Adam just joined the group on Fanatics and made his picks. That's what I like to hear, Adam. That's it. Thank you so much. And spread the word. Evening to WMMA scene now. Thanks for dropping by. Let's go to Reese McLaren against Yuya Wakamatsu. Drake and I have gone for Yuya, and JHK has gone for Reese along with Chris. Now, JHK, you still saying you could flip flop on this one or what?
Yeah, I could still flip flop on it, but I'm taking Reese because I think Reese will be able to get Yuya down. And Reese is, I think he's slick enough on the feet. He's shown that in the last couple of fights where, he could, he has better head movement. He could stay away from the power shots. And when you look at Yuya, he has that one punch, right? That one punch that you have to stay away from. If you stay away from that one punch, you could do really well against him, and you could get him to the ground. I think that's the most important thing. Even though he's very good on the ground, get him to the ground. Reese is very good on the ground. I think Reese can get him on the ground, get in advantageous positions, and maybe lock up a submission. If not, he can control on the ground, and I think that's an important key for Reese. Reese lost his last fight.
No,
Boxing match.
Oh, there you go. Jacob Wiley, the ETU Cup. I had no idea he boxed in that. There you go.
Oh yeah, I asked Reese about that. That was actually before the MMA fight.
Okay.
But yeah, he did box though.
There you go. I didn't know that. All right. Well, we're split there. A bunch of the people have not made their picks yet, so we'll see what they go for. But Drake, you went for Yuya, like myself. Please explain yourself. Not in a bad way. I just mean talk about it.
Explain. I mean, again, it's hard not to agree with John and just everything, right? John's a very smart individual, so I like what he's saying, and I do think that Reese will be able to get Yuya to the ground and have some success there. But ultimately, I don't know if he'll be able to end up finishing him there in those positions. I think that could maybe hold him there for a full round or something. But again, Yuya's got that power to where if he touches you, he can put you out. And I just think overall too, if he's fought the better competition, and that might be kind of an easy thing to say because he has Demetrius Johnson on his record, even though he lost, he still went in there, fought that guy, got the rub from him, and did decently well in that first round at least. And so I think that's something to look at just when you consider. Since then, he hasn't lost. He looked very good. Knocked out the former champion, was it Jay Hay? That's how you say it, Eustaquio.
Jay Hay.
Yep,
exactly.
Yep. Very good. And, got another knockout in his last fight there against Kim Kyu-sung. I just think he's got some good momentum going and, fought the competition level, I think, is a bit in his favor, too, which ultimately that mixed with his knockout power, I think, will be enough. But it wouldn't at all surprise me if Reese got this done, as we're split here on the picks so far.
Yeah, I'm only going for Yuya because having interviewed Chatri and Adriana Moraes, they both kind of heavily bigged up Yuya Wakamatsu as a potential next challenger. And given this fight's pre-recorded, that screams to me that he won the fight. So that's all I'm going on, I don't have any insider info, but it would seem strange if Yuya had lost that fight to kind of really promote him as a potential next title challenger for Adriana. So let's see. I've been wrong before on these with these kind of criteria and this weird way of picking fights. So don't take it from me. But let's go to the next fight. Nikki Holtzkin against John Wayne Parr. This will be fun. JWP is back after hip surgery, I believe. All four of us who have picked already have gone for Nikki Holtzkin. John, is there any way Nikki doesn't win this fight?
Yeah, if he gets knocked out. And
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, I just mean he's got to be the heavy favorite here. Look at these, man. 81% of people have picked him. Minus 145 from Michael's odds.
All right, let me break it down with John Wayne Parr, right? I love John Wayne Parr. John Wayne Parr is one of the nicest guys. Interviewed him before. One of the nicest guys you'll speak with. He's so polite, man. He's a guy that's like polar opposites. One of the nicest guys that, outside the ring, inside the ring, he's a killer. Now, age is against him, right? He's 44 years old. Nikki Holtzkin's not a spring chicken either. He's 37, but 44. And the key thing is he's coming off hip replacement surgery. And you know who else was coming off hip replacement surgery?
I knew you were
Benjamin
going
Askren.
there.
And look what happened to him, man. And I think like this one it's not the same in magnitude, but man, when you're doing Muay Thai and you have to use your hips in pretty much everything you do, right? I don't know how effective he will be against one of the best guys in the world right now, which is Nikki Holtzkin. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see where, John Wayne Parr dominates Nikki Holtzkin. Nikki Holtzkin, one thing that could work into John Wayne Parr's advantage would be if Nikki Holtzkin comes in underestimating John Wayne Parr. And that could be a problem, right? But I don't think Nikki Holtzkin is going to do that because John Wayne Parr has a reputation, right? And that reputation, goes far. So Nikki Holtzkin is going to come in here. I think Nikki Holtzkin is going to be able to go in there and just effectively do what he does and do it really well against, a guy that is on the back nine of his career, maybe on the 18th hole. And Nikki Holtzkin is not even, in the back nine yet. So I think he goes in there and it's going to be a fun fight. And John Wayne Parr is tough as hell. But I think Nikki Holtzkin is going to go in there and be pretty dominant. That's why I'm picking Nikki.
A big rig. You also pick Nikki.
Yeah, it's pretty much the youth in this one, right? And just we all love John Wayne Parr, and we all want him to do well, and it would be amazing if he could pull this off. But Nikki Holtzkin is very, very good, and not to say John Wayne Parr isn't, but everything in consideration, it just makes him a tough pick here. And what are the odds here? I have to zoom in on my screen. Do we have them?
Yeah, plus
not too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, not crazy. Plus 140 for JWP.
So I mean,
minus 145 for Nikki.
Yeah, and then obviously Nikki had those Regan Ursel losses somewhat recently, but Regan Ursel is very, very good in his own right. I just think that this comes down to kind of where they are at in their careers. Obviously, JWP in the twilight, as we've mentioned, that's kind of the big thing. If it was Prime versus Prime, obviously a different story, but I just think the young gun is going to be a little too much here. So,
okay. Well, there was a comment from Galactus, I believe, asking why we haven't picked our method of victory for all these fights. Well, normally, not Galactus, sorry, it was Adam Ahmed. Just saw it's optional. Okay, yeah, it is optional. Normally, you only pick them for the main event or title fights on UFC cards, but I think the Fanatics guys are having a bit of fun and putting it as optional on all the fights for one championship cards. So I am just not bold enough to risk triple or nothing on every single fight on a card. So I'm not picking triple or nothing on these one fights. Also, they're pre-recorded. So if you do know things like that, you can go triple or nothing. But I don't really know anything, so I don't do it. Also, I'm not very good at this game. So if I get no points from missing a method of victory, it's just not helping me out. So I'm not being bold. I'm keeping it real. Where's Ongla? Asked Onglay. Ongla's gonna turn up eventually. He's having dinner. It's run
I
a
love
little
that
late.
name.
Yeah,
Onglay.
he's gonna be here. He's gonna be here, Onglay. Don't you worry. I
See, the
think
Kana army is here.
the Kana army is here.
I
Kana
love it.
stand unite. Kana Watanabe, future champ in Kana. I stand. Difference is, John, we all knew Ben Askew couldn't strike. Poor Ben Askew. That was embarrassing, wasn't it? The Kana army will unite. Who gets Eddie? Can't remember the last time I've seen an eliminator for a non-title fight. Yeah, I think is that the
right.
next one on our list here? Yes, Marat Gafarov and Ok Yoon Ray. Well, okay, I'm gonna go to Drake first. Who do you think is gonna win, Drake?
Oof,
You picked Marat Gafarov, former champ, featherweight champ, but he lost his lightweight debut. Then he beat Lowen Tynanis, right? So
yes, yeah.
good comeback there. 79% of people picking him. Why are you, Drake?
I just think that he's a very tough, durable guy. Obviously, he's had plenty of fights, all that experience, and champion, like you said, has losses to Martin Ewan, Yuri Lapicus recently. No shame in those guys, Matsushima. You look at his record is kind of funny to look at too, because I didn't realize actually how many rear naked chokes he had. I know that he's gotten rear naked choke victories before, but he won like a shitload in a row by rear naked choke. So that seems to be his specialty, and I think that something he could pull off again, of course, if he can get Yoon to the ground here, but easier said than done. And I honestly don't know too much about Yoon, and that's why I'm excited to hear John's thoughts on him, because really he knows a bit more about him, and he went for the pick there, as did, what is that, Chris? My screen. Oh, that's you. You went with him too. So
I did.
you guys explain to me why I should not go with Gafarov.
I'm going to throw it to JHK here. Why have you gone for Oak?
Because he's Korean,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's
There you
it. That's
go.
plain
Fair
and
enough.
simple. I'm not gonna even break it down to you.
What am I doing?
I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be the upset of the year. He's gonna make his debut. Nobody knows who he is. He's been fighting regionally in Korea his whole career, basically. But he does have experience. He has 16 fights. He does have a title on the, I believe in Double G. And he's gonna come in and fight a older, much older 36-year-old with with a lot of fights. He's taken a lot of damage, been knocked out a lot. I think he's going to be able to take it, and he's going to go on and fight what's his name, Eddie Alvarez, right, next week. And if you look at the silhouette in the poster, the silhouette, does it look like Oak or does it look like Gafarov? Look at it.
Jeez,
Yeah.
did they really do that? Did they really do that?
I'm just saying.
They may have done that. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Look at it. Dissect it.
Yeah. It does look
Some
a little bit
detective
like
work, John.
Yes.
But read into that what you will. Read into that what you will. I'm going for Oak. Yeah, I'm picking Oak. I just think I feel an upset coming here. So, and the odds, he is the underdog, and more plus 190. I like those odds. Gafarov is minus 200. I think I could get some points here. It's a chance to get some points on the board, and everyone's doing very well in the one championship cards lately. So if they're all picking Gafarov, I'm going to throw a little bomb in there and try and go for the underdog. So it might pay off, it might not.
So
okay.
What?
Go ahead.
How do we feel about the Alvarez sweepstakes here, though? Like, it's interesting, right?
It's like an
weird.
episode. It's like an episode of The Bachelor.
Yeah, yeah, definitely is.
Yeah, it is weird, but I think
It's cool though. At the same time, it's weird, but it's cool, right? I wish they would do it more. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, unique circumstances here, though, John. With Alvarez, how that fight played out, and it's a big deal for these guys in particular. Get this opportunity to fight Eddie Alvarez, not in the most ideal of timing, with turning right around to do it, and depending on how they come out of this fight. Like, yeah, who's to say that one of the winner isn't like beat up very bad after like a war or something crazy? So, it's a big gamble potentially for on Eddie's end too to be like, all right, let's hope that neither of these guys, the winner, isn't too hurt to turn around and he just kind of screws himself a little bit more in that regard. But obviously, you got to think that Eddie versus whoever, they'll go on to fight Christian, right? Like that's pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen, but they're still talking about Eddie having to do a rematch with Yuri Lapkus. That's what
that would
Chatri
make
told
sense
me.
too.
And
But
I think Yuri deserves that, to be honest, because he's been hit in the back of the head his last 2 fights, and it's not his fault. Yeah, so
doesn't he have
I
like
still think-
swelling in his brain or something?
yeah, essentially.
Yeah, man, that's not good, man. I don't think he's gonna be back for a while, dude. I don't expect him to fight anytime soon. That is not good, is it?
Okay, I see what I did there. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good for him. But I don't think. I think Chatri was kind of over egging that, perhaps. I mean, swelling on the brain is like a very serious thing that
It is,
kind of
man.
ends fighters' careers. So seems a little bit like maybe he said the wrong thing there, but maybe he didn't. I don't know. But if you have swelling on the brain, I don't think you can fight again ever. I might be
Yeah.
wrong. Not a doctor, but
Probably not a
90
safe
days.
thing to do.
You only
Yeah.
play one on TV
exactly.
or in your home.
In my home, yeah. Okay, well, we've picked that one. Let's move it along. Let's go to the next fight. So I'm juggling like 3 things here, trying to book online sang for this show. Ryuto Sawada against Lee Tao Miao. I have gone for Ryuto, and so has JHK and Drake. So I'm going to throw it to JHK first. Then, why have we all picked Sawada?
Because he fights at Evolve, and
Look at those odds.
I don't know. I really don't know too much about these guys. But,
Chris just flipped over to Lee Tao Mao.
well,
He
then
would.
I'm definitely picking Sawada because man, it's not a good month for Chris. Now he's back.
No month is
But,
a good month for Chris. I say that with love, Chris.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't really know too much about it. This is kind of a toss-up for me. But I feel like I've seen Sawada fight already a few times, and he just seems like a much more complete fighter, and that's why I'm picking him. I'm not going to give you no technical breakdown because I never do that, but yeah, just he looks looks more like a fighter,
I
and
could
he's bigger
say,
in the picture.
Yeah, I mean the odds are pretty. Yeah, they say a lot there as well. What is it? Minus 400 for you two Sawada, plus 390 for Miao. And yeah, I didn't know too much. Like you said, John, it's a bit of a toss up this one. So I had a little look at the stats. I went straight to the stats and kind of looking at the stats. I think when I don't know, I always look at records, things like that. And Sawada's got a very decent record in one. I think you can look at this. He's beaten Robin Catalan. He's already beaten Miao by unanimous decision. So that is what it is. He's only lost 1 fight in one, and that was a decision against Bokeng Masinyane. So that's not too bad. Whereas Miao has lost 2 in a row. The last one was to Sawada. So they've rematched this fight. It was from Reign of Dynasties 2 in October. So Chris maybe has something to think about, something to say. Why are you picking Lee, Chris? Tell us in the chat if you haven't already. Sawada sounds Japanese. Kana's Japanese. Go Kana. Yeah, the Kana hype train is
great
alive
logic.
and well.
Great
Exactly.
logic by Rain, my man.
Yeah. So I'd actually forgotten these guys had already fought a few months ago. Well, it wasn't a few, like 5 months ago now, 6 months ago. So maybe there was enough there to suggest Lee deserved a rematch. I don't know. Was that controversial? I can't remember the fight. Do you remember it, John?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I'm
don't
gonna have to
remember.
take off, guys. I'll talk
right.
to you guys later. All right.
See you
All
later.
right, John.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. I have to be the bearer of bad news as well that Ongla is not going to make it.
Oh no!
Yeah. I'm really sorry, everyone, for advertising it, and
Stuck
don't.
with us. Sorry.
Yeah, please don't dislike the video. Oh, she's calling me now. Let's take this call live on air.
Yes.
Hello, Quang. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Ongla says tomorrow night. Okay, could do that. Yeah, I think so. I'll double check my schedule, but I think around this time is fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me text you. I'll text you in the next 5 minutes to confirm. Yeah. All right. Okay. Bye. See you. All right. There we go. Looks like we're gonna have on tomorrow. Better check my schedule though.
Better
just to
late than
confirm.
never.
Yeah. I'm sorry to everyone in the chat. Ong is at dinner with Kevin James, I believe. I don't know if that is Paul
What?
Blart Mallcott, but or just someone else called Kevin James. But makes
I'm
sense.
gonna pretend it's that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
This time tomorrow. I mean, that would be right in the middle of one on TNT 4, right? I probably couldn't do that then. Let me talk to Quang. Anyways, we got a show here to finish.
Yeah, we do.
Me, Jasmine, and Nick all thought Lee had beaten Sawada, if I remember correctly. Okay, that's the logic. Okay. God, tomorrow at 3. Yeah, she just said. Oh, that's one on TNT 3. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to do it then. 10 p.m. his time. What's that?
He's in Florida too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not an Eastern guy. Just because I'm here at the moment doesn't mean I know.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe On can jump on the fight companion with us.
Hey, that'd be cool.
That'd be funny. I'll deal with that. My day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable. I'm so sorry, Sepulot. Yeah, I hate advertising, false advertising. This wasn't my fault.
Full
I was
clickbait.
told Ongla was going to be here. Yeah, I feel I've let down all the fans. But the kind of stands, they've not been let down because
No,
Big
never.
really stand up. Yeah. Can I point out that I'm 11th in the rankings to Drake's strong 83rd, says Chris. You can point it out. Yeah. I don't know where I am. I think I'm off the first page, I'm like down in second 100.
I am pretty sure that my main event picks are killing me because I always go specific with the method and it's just not working out. It's not working out lately.
Yes, sir. The method I'm afraid of now. Yeah, it's been a fun stream either way, Sepulot. I've enjoyed myself. But I've got to get down to some work soon, so I might wrap it up in a minute. Can someone
I missed the wrestling talk.
You did. You missed it all. Drake, give your thoughts on what we're talking about. I don't remember.
You asked about the best AEW pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, go on.
Oof. I mean, you gave a good pick there, and it's like, does that one count? Because it wasn't technically AEW yet, but I mean, I think so. Like, well, what that one had, Rey Mysterio was on that one, wasn't he? Which was crazy to think about in hindsight.
Yeah.
A couple guys like that who didn't actually go on to AEW. I don't know, man. I can't pinpoint where everything falls on all of them because they're all. I enjoy them all very much, so it's like I don't remember specifically what the names were of them and everything. But was Moxley and Omega the Lights Out match? Was that on? That wasn't on TV. Whatever pay-per-view that one was on, I liked that one a lot. So
I can't remember. I wish the AEW would do separate names for their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I just don't remember them year to year. Really, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't even remember it. Like the last one was all right, but the finish was terrible to the show. I often think AEW does better TV, like big TV specials than their actual pay-per-views. That's my opinion.
I
They
mean,
load them up.
dude, I was telling you, I think that maybe the Moxley and Archer match against what was it, Kenny and Kenta? That might be
Yeah,
my new favorite match ever. Like
that was
that was
insane. Yeah,
so good. That was so good.
yeah.
Uh,
I like that they load up the TV shows as well.
yeah.
Anyway, can you explain Kana, please? Because some people don't know.
Kana
And,
Watanabe, you guys. Obviously, that's all you need to say is just her name. But no, one of the she's number 4 ranked contender in the Bellator flyweight division right now. One of the hottest rising contenders prospects in the flyweight division, undefeated, black belt judoka. Yeah, need I say more? Formerly of Rising and Deep Jewels. It's a bit of an inside joke, but not a joke, you guys. So that's what it is. If you are unaware of the Kana army, it's all good fun. But Kana is a very legitimate fighter, even though we're all having fun with it. And I do see Alan also asking me about attending Dynamite tomorrow.
yeah,
Darby with the open challenge. I mean, I would love to do that. And I should maybe have time, but I don't know if you can just waltz on in there. The Daly's place, I could walk right to it. Like I said, the stadium is right outside for me, so that would be sweet. And if maybe I could get some wrestler interviews, I'd be down for that too. So we'll see what we can do, I guess.
yeah. I didn't even realize about that. That'd be cool. If I was you, I'd go definitely.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. Full Gear 2019 Moxley versus Omega, Lights Out, and Jericho versus Cody for the AEW title.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Even though that
And,
Jericho Cody one, I didn't think it was too crazy, but it was a good one. I mean,
Drake, will you wear a mask at the fights? That says Chris.
yeah, probably. I mean, they've told us and everybody, Dana said it today or yesterday that fans won't be required to wear masks, and masks are not required anymore in this state, but a lot of businesses still tell you have to do them and all that. But the UFC did say, we do encourage you to wear a mask. You don't have to, but we encourage it. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down tomorrow. And since I've already had Corona, I'm like not too worried anymore, but I'll do it just not to be an asshole, probably, like it's that's kind of the big thing is, just make everybody feel comfortable and just don't be a dickhead. So I don't have any problem either way, so I probably will, but that's how they're treating it. So yeah.
Okay, there we go. What else have we got? I might have to get out of here soon, guys. Sorry, I'm enjoying this one, but I need to get some workout. Some articles up. Here we go. I also love Jericho and Sammy versus Matt Hardy. There we go. Kenny Omega from Dynamite last year during the thick of the pandemic. AEW is really fun. I always enjoy watching it. I've got to catch up on the last couple of shows, actually. Just so busy with this MMA stuff. This boring MMA bullshit. Leaping Leon wants to jump on now, so let's keep the party going. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just let you two talk while I kind of do things in the background.
Leaping Leon.
Leaping Leon is about to join the chat. Here you go.
Yes. Also, I want to point out everybody. I see Jimmy and James saying Between the Links Army. I'm the current Between the Links champion. So yes, everybody go support me on Thursday when I defend my title, assuming I can make it on that time and I'm not super busy and all that, because obviously Fight We Covered is #1 priority. SCMP MMA, all the good stuff is going to be here on the channel and on the website. So that is #1 priority, but I still am the reigning defending champion of Between the Links on MMA Fighting. So yes, if you guys want to go check that out, see you boy over on that channel. Either this week or every Thursday from now on, because I'm not losing the belt, damn it.
Not losing the belt. Yeah, Leon's going to join us. I'm just trying to lock in the time for Onglar as well. And we had an interview with Zhang Wei Li, so I'm putting up that article. I think we need to get that out quickly because no one else has got it yet in the English-speaking media, so I just want to publish that. Leon's going to join us, so ask your questions to get them all in. Onglar and Sang, sorry if you missed it. He will not be joining us today. He's at dinner. with Kevin James.
I
Apparently,
love that. I love that. That's not a bad reason that he's missing. That he's
no,
missing the
no.
show.
Damn it! I'd be there instead of doing this shitty show. You know. Oh dear, just bagging on my own show now.
Right. I know. Brutal.
Yeah, brutal. Kind of stand support Drake. Man, Drake's got a lot of support as well. Not just
Yep.
kind of. What do you guys think of the AEW, Impact Wrestling, NJPW, and NWA partnership? And is it best for North American Pro Wrestling? I'm gonna throw that to Drake.
It's got to be easily, right? Like, seeing everybody come together, not to go against the big dog. See what I did there? That is the WWE. But just having everybody work together makes it all so much more fun. It's just like in MMA with, pretty much everybody but the UFC as well. Bellator, Ryzen getting together. We've seen Invicta get in that mix as well. It's just, when everybody gets to work together and put all their best foot forward, and put all the best talent together to work together. Yeah, I mean, it's you can't go wrong with that.
Leon's here. Hello, Leon. How are you, sir?
What's
how's it going,
up?
boys?
Onglar ghosted us, so
I
he's
know.
at
I
dinner.
was chatting to Kwang the same time
Yeah,
you
same.
were talking to on the phone.
I just took a live call. Yeah. Oh
That's
dear.
quite funny.
Yeah. Well, should have him tomorrow. But I feel bad. I advertised them
You're
for
going
the
to do that
show.
11, right? I was on the Pepsi Meet for 11:15. So it's going to be after the event.
Yeah. Just trying to think. Will that clash with the show, the one on TNT show?
Should be done. Shouldn't there's only 2 fights. They start at 10 o'clock. So it should be
I was
done by
thinking
11.
maybe I could bring Ong into the fight companion, and yeah, let's do that. That'd be funny. All right. 11 a.m. HK can. Oh, I'll just text that. Sounds good. All
Hey,
right,
Drake, I
Leon.
don't think we've met before, have we? On any of these podcasts?
This is our first time, Mr. Jennings. Good to
Yeah.
see you live
mate.
in the flesh.
Yeah. How's
Yeah,
things?
yeah. He's in Jacksonville. Yeah, doing well.
Yep.
I'll see you in Jacksonville for the UFC.
You know it. Just getting things kicked off, I guess technically today, but yeah, tomorrow media day, you guys. We'll have all of the fighter conversation here on the channel. We're gonna be talking to everybody from here. Let me be specific for you all. Below, not the title fight fighters. Those will be on Thursday, but everybody tomorrow will be from what we got here. I'll just list them all off: Randy Brown, Anthony Smith, Carl Roberson, Dwight Grant, Stefan Sekulich, Cowboy Oliveira, Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman, Brendan Allen, and Jimmy Crute. That is what we got on tap tomorrow. So all those guys will be here on the channel talking to the great media folk, myself included. So yeah, that's what we got kicking off tomorrow at what is it? 12:30 Eastern time. So yeah.
So in the middle of the night here.
Yes.
Asia. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's going to be good to see fans back.
It's gonna be something, man.
What an event to cover! You must be pumped.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. Well, I technically already got to do one. I did the boxing event in the end of October. Gervonta Davis and Leo Santos. I got to cover that one for a different outlet, and that was, I think, the first event since the pandemic started and everything, at least in America, where, well, I'm sure maybe most places too, but where they had a good amount of people. We were in the Alamo Dome, which I don't know, I think it's 20,000 max, but they let in 9,500 people, and it felt like it was packed. It was pretty nuts in there. So yeah, well, it'll be crazier with a fully packed one again. So
Oh, house, yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no. More stacked card as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I finished that article so I can talk again. Is cannabis legal in Cambodia, Leon? Oh, here we go. Here comes the banter. The banter bus. Beep,
I
beep.
noticed, Nick, you didn't post any of these banter questions yesterday.
What was
With
that
Michael.
for? With Michael. Yeah, I didn't want to.
No, I don't-
I didn't want to get the banter going too much with Michael.
No, I don't blame you, really. I'd have to keep that a little bit more serious.
Yeah, try and be serious around fighters and fight
Michael.
commentators. Yes. Do you guys feel overwhelmed with your schedules with all these consistent events? I do every day. Yes. Every morning I wake up and cry at them, and no, not that bad, but it is tough. Yeah.
I don't know any MMA reporters or people like us that aren't ridiculously overworked. It's just
Yeah.
non-stop. There's no days off. Christmas, there's still posts, there's still interviews going on, there's still fight news, there's still gossip, there's still trash talking. It's just non-stop.
Yes, never stops. I try and explain this to my boss. They're always like, "Oh, you work too hard. You need to take some. You need to do less work. You've got to relax." I'm like, "You just don't understand. It never stops. It never stops." Literally.
I try.
Yeah. And then he's like, "I just don't like that. You have to take a week off sometimes because you're so tired." I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" I like the next 10 days, I literally cannot take a day off because there's stuff going on every day. It's just the job, It is what it is, as Max Holloway says.
I haven't had a whole day off in over 2.5 years. Not one day.
Yeah, Leon works harder than anyone I know. He never stops. Honestly.
It's tough about being a one-man band.
Some would say you're a one-man band. Fight night picks. Big time. One card on the way. Great one indeed. It is a good card. Leon, we didn't get your picks, earlier, but we went through the card. Who are you picking in that main event? And who are you picking fight night picks? You're the pickers, so
Yeah,
you
come
tell
on.
us.
Yeah. Well, I think you all said John Lineker. He's obviously a favourite going to the main event. He's preparing anyway. He's #1 contender, coming off huge Kevin Bellingham win against Troy Worthen, taking on short notice. Although Troy Worthen he's not in the top 5, but he must just be 6, 7 in the rankings. His only loss comes to Yusuf Sadaleyev, who is I think the number 3 guy in the division, and that was a very competitive 3-round fight. So I think it's an interesting one. I think he has the wrestling background, which we've seen can really dominate in MMA. But John Lineker, I think, is just going to be a little bit too much. And he could have argued that he deserves a title shot before he was scheduled to fight Stephen Lohman. So he's got, and then there's also a little bit of pressure fighting someone on short notice where he's kind of expected to win now. So I expect him to step up to the plate.
What happened to Lohman? I didn't see what happened to him even.
He tested tested positive for COVID, him and Lito Adewale on their way to Singapore.
Right. Jeez.
So they're with Edward as well in that team, like Mark Sangam. I think somehow Edward didn't test positive. He's still competing
Crazy.
on TNT 4.
I didn't mean to miss your comment. Sorry. Leon is in Cambodia. Cambodia is 5 hours away from Japan. Kana is from Japan. Leon is awesome. There we go. The hype. You've missed all of this, Leon. It's been very bizarre today in the chat.
This is a normal day for me. This is a normal day.
Yeah.
Can we clear
Thanks
something?
for bringing them over here, Drake.
I don't live in Cambodia. Let's put this fake news in the bud.
You do in spirit, Leon.
I wouldn't mind if I lived there. I mean, I can't wait to visit Cambodia if ever the borders open, if ever they let people in that haven't had a vaccine. I'm there.
Yeah, same.
But until then, I'm a Cambodia. Maybe I have to change my nickname from Cambodia King to Cambodia Virgin.
There we go. I don't know if that's better. Might be worse. Lineker and the co-main event is tricky. Yes.
And in fact, all this talking about it just makes me want to go there more.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go there now. I mean, I've heard it. I've had mates go there, and I've spent loads of time in Thailand. I've been in Vietnam. Obviously, I live in Southeast Asia, so I've got an idea of the vibe. But every country obviously has its, in Southeast Asia, has its little uniqueness and their own spin of things. So yeah, I'm the Cambodia Virgin for now, but I hope to be the Cambodia King one day.
Oh man.
There you go. All right. Did you pick the co-main, Leon?
Co-main. Well, I don't. I mean, obviously, I think we've heard some talks that didn't discuss the result or the fight, but maybe implied someone won. So, but then you can't always take that for gospel. I've a bit like I think you were talking about earlier, the social media presence thing. Not every time does someone who's posting. I've seen it quite a few times. People are promoting their fight even though they've already lost. So that's a tough one. I mean, that's an interesting matchup, even without any knowledge of how it could have gone. You've got Yuya, who's just been on a tear since he lost to DJ, and Reese, who's just one of the most fun, creative guys in the division. Crazy submission game. And he felt, obviously, well, he felt he beat Danny Kingad in the one flyweight Grand Prix, so he feels like he's a fight, a title fight, or a fight DJ, or a big fight. So he's going to be up for that.
Drake, are you in the Athlete Hotel? Asks James.
I am not. I am actually at an Airbnb that just looks like a hotel. It's pretty nice, comfy stay here. But I was at, I think, the Athlete Hotel earlier when I got tested, so I know where it is and all that stuff. And I see a follow up there, James. How close am I to the ViStar? Well, as I said, the TIA Stadium, whatever it's called, the Jaguars Field, is right outside, which is right next to it. So I can walk there. It's like 5 minutes away, so I'm that close, which is very convenient and money saving.
You better go to AEW then, man.
I know, right? I have to now. I hope you can just go right in. I'll totally do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can buy tickets, man, on the door, I think.
Ooh,
Drake, where
okay.
do you live?
I live in Washington State, so Vancouver area, which is by Portland, on the West Coast. So, yeah.
So what, about 5-hour flight, was it?
It took. I had to stop in Atlanta, so that was about 4, and then it was like a 40-minute flight from Atlanta to here, which is like the shortest flight probably I've ever been on. So yeah, about 5 in total.
And how's the vibe? How's the vibe in Florida in comparison to? And how is Washington one of the strict states? Because I feel Florida's pretty laid back with.
Yeah, no, Florida just doesn't give a shit anymore, apparently. But Washington, we're pretty much all still pretty strict. Got to wear the masks and everything, but restaurants are back. Places are like back at half capacity now. Whereas I think here it's pretty much just free game. Obviously, if they're having full 20,000 event shows with the UFC and that kind of thing, so it hasn't felt different yet because I've only really just been inside buildings today. So I went to the hotel and then the airport. The thing about it is like they can have this no mask mandate, right? Or like no requirement for it, but businesses and stuff, they still want to like cover their asses and say, okay, you can't come in without a mask. Like the hotel, you had to wear masks in by their acclaim. So it doesn't feel that different yet. I'm sure it will as we get, doing more things and whatnot, as people get careless. But it feels the same so far. But I've only been here for 6 hours now. So
really, 6 hours.
Yeah.
So already had that first whiskey.
I did have that first whiskey. Man, that shit was strong, man. I said I was going to get a triple shot when I got here. I wasn't serious, but I think I did. So it was needed, though. That was very good.
I haven't had an alcoholic drink for about 15 months because it's whole COVID malarkey.
Malarkey. Yeah, I've wish I could say the same. I haven't had an alcoholic drink for 2 days, so that's something.
Same.
Something, yeah. Monday, Tuesday, done. Wednesday, let's make it a hat trick, guys.
There we go.
Let's go, JWP. Should we bet Drake? Ask Mark.
Oh,
fellows?
Boy, no way. No way. I won't even be, if I was going to be on the companion, I would say maybe to that, but I don't have any beer readily. I don't even have beer readily available, so that's a no. No, I'm not doing that. And I brought my new shoes that I got for the trip, so definitely not.
They'll be cleaner. There'll be less germs in there.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Won't be so cheesy.
Right.
Alan is asking for the predictions on John Lineker versus the natural Nikki Hoskin tomorrow. Why don't we just get Leon's pick because we already did ours earlier? Yeah, Leon, who do you think gets that one?
Firstly, John, if you can't get reliable Wi-Fi, don't even bother talking to us. We'll sort it out. I'm joking.
Leave Alan alone.
I think, like you said earlier, I think obviously Nicky's going to be the favourite going into that. Two legends. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to say that you guys didn't say earlier, really. I think we all love John Wayne Parr as well. Nicky Hoskin's obviously kickboxing legend, facing a Muay Thai legend in MMA gloves, in a cage circle. What's not to love about this fight?
What is not to love about it?
I
What do you
can't
think?
see it disappointing in any way. That's my prediction. I think, yeah, the odd fight sometimes it can be hyped and then lets you down. I can't see any way this fight not living up to the hype.
Absolutely. James is asking Leon, Drake, will there be an audience during the press conference for UFC 261?
I'm sure. I would be stunned if there wasn't. It's here. I got the email open again. It's gonna be at the ViStar, so I think that's pretty much a guarantee that they'll have freedom for fans here. It does not say, oh, tickets and open to the public. There you go. All right, I didn't see it. So yes, there will be fans.
Yeah, they got the whole full shenanigans, haven't they, this week? The press
Yeah,
conference.
we got ceremonials again.
Ceremonial weigh-ins,
weigh-ins.
yeah.
Crazy. Oh my goodness. The kind of comments again.
Yeah, here they go. 36, I like this, 37 days, 10 hours, 7 minutes to one in power. That is some dedication WMA scene now. I can't wait for the show either. Big Rig, JR, Jim Ross has an Airbnb also in Jacksonville. Will you be having a barbecue with JR's homemade BBQ sauce?
That would be awesome. I did not know that this was that he had a spot. Maybe I'll have to go find it. Hang out with JR. Good old JR.
Good old JR. Atlanta is 13 hours away from Japan. Kenneth from Japan. Go Drake for Between the Links on Thursday if he's available.
Exactly. Champ.
13 hours is more than that, isn't it? Not more than 13 hours?
I don't know. Chicago is 13 from Hong Kong, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe it's 13 then.
Did you guys ever go to OWE when it was running tours in China? They were former part of AEW, didn't last too long. I actually spoke to the guy who runs OWE, or one of the vice president, Michael, for a while. We did a bunch of interviews with them, and then it's kind of gone quiet since the pandemic. Ruined their chances of getting to America for these shows. They had their visas denied as well, right when they announced that Trump was in the middle of a trade war with China and things like that. So they were not able to actually travel there and do the shows. I'll try and get in touch with them again. They did some stuff in Singapore, I believe. I think Kenny Omega turned up at one of their shows. Leon, how is living in Asia? Asked Adam. So Leon is not actually from Cambodia or living there. He lives in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Oh, I love it. Obviously, the last year I could have been living in the Antarctic. It's just, I've only left my apartment to go shopping and go and running, and the odd restaurant. But yeah, I love this part of the world. But at the moment, obviously, everywhere is kind of closed, and around the world, I mean, lockdowns, restrictions, closed borders. So
it's not much fun.
Usual, but it's the same for everyone, I think, around the world.
Indeed. Anyone hype? It is, and I like Kuala Lumpur particularly. I think you've got a good city there. I would consider that. If I left Hong Kong, I would consider KL. I'd like that. I'd like to live there. Very nice.
I love KL. It's my favourite city, in probably maybe a Singapore as well, to live in Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
it's
very good.
Small,
very good.
It's probably English. Everyone speaks English pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
it's like slightly different. The streets are bigger and wider than Hong Kong, which they're also narrow here. It's really tough to actually walk around anywhere or get anywhere. Seems like you've got a lot more space is what I'm trying to say. I like that. Anyone hyped for Mortal Kombat, Jen, released on Friday? Well, that stars Louis Tan, I believe, who just shot a new series or a new film called Fistful of Vengeance with my main man, Jason Tobin from Warrior, who we interviewed on the show last weekend. So go check out that interview as well. I'm not sure I'm really hyped for the film. I'm kind of going into it with an empty mind. I won't go to the cinema. I won't rush out to watch it. I might stream it eventually or watch it if it comes out on Netflix. I don't know. Drake, you like this new Mortal Kombat return? Are you up for it?
Nah, I don't really care. Like I like Mortal Kombat. I do. I enjoy the games. I don't own any, and I don't think I've owned a Mortal Kombat game since Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero on the Nintendo 64, which I know a lot of people hate that game, but it's got so much nostalgic value for me. I fucking love that game, and I actually wanted to play it recently, but I don't know if I still have it. But no, I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat guy, so it doesn't really do much for me. Like, if people say it's good, I'll probably check it out, but I'm not gonna go out of my way, honestly.
All right. Well, yeah, I won't go out of my way. If it pops up on Netflix in a couple of years, I'll watch that. Get a bit drunk or something, you know. Why not? You guys excited for Marvel's Shang-Chi, The Lord of the Ten Rings this September? The first almost all Asian cast for a superhero or Marvel movie. Yeah, again, I'll watch that. I like Marvel films, and I think I'm expecting higher quality from that than Mortal Kombat, you know. And I think that'll be a cool one. Who doesn't like a lot of kung fu action, man? I think that's is that the Shang-Chi's power is just that he's a badass martial artist. I'm always there for watching that stuff. So
It's a good power.
yeah, when's that out? September. All right, cool. Is there an open workout, Drake, for 261?
If there is, they haven't said anything about it. So as of right now, I'm going to say no, and there's no reason for it anyway, because if you remember back to when they did do open workouts, people stopped working out. Like, I remember being there for 244, and if you remember, Nate Diaz came out, and I think he smoked and did a Q&A with the fans, and then Masvidal almost created a lawsuit for the UFC by having fans come and body box each other, which could have gone terribly. Could have gone very bad. Luckily it didn't. I was a little worried that the two of these guys were about to get heated, but yeah, so I think that's probably done for going forward.
Well, there you go. Leon, do you like these open workouts? We watched some in a really cold government building in Busan, South Korea, didn't we? In the afternoon. It was kind of a strange experience for me, but because it's not really a workout, is it? It's freezing cold. Yeah, we stood there with holding our nuts. Just that sounds weird. Anyway, yeah, it was a strange experience.
You gotta stay warm.
Yeah.
And one of them was in beautiful sunshine, and one of them was in the shade, and it's freezing cold actually. So the one when it was in Melbourne, it was crowded, it was packed, and Robert Whittaker, the first one she had. Is that when? Oh, Izzy was definitely. I think Izzy fought. Yeah, it was Izzy versus Anderson Silva, Robert Whittaker versus Kevin Gelsterdam. That was a fun open workout.
What did you prefer? The sunshine, I presume. Yes.
Oh yeah, I love the sun, but that was just nice. Because in Melbourne, the first 2, 3, 4 was in February, so that was their summer, so that was really hot. 2, 4, 3 was in October, and that's kind of their winter, or coming out of their winter. It's just a cold. In fact, it was nice, but then the shade came in and it turned cold. I'm a wussy with cold weather. big wussy.
One does these open workouts, or they used to, right? I always found them a bit pointless. I just never really understood.
They're quite strange to one.
Yeah, they last about 15 minutes, and they don't even do interviews.
About 2 minutes, literally, if that.
But they did give us "Here we go, evil. Here we go."
Oh, did they?
Let's not remember that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't even remember that.
It was Jessica I. It was not good.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it's usually the ones are only usually in Jakarta for some reason, and Manila. Sometimes they do. Manila, they often do open workouts at a press conference.
Yeah, I like the ones in Manila. Manila always puts on like a nice press conference, don't they?
They've done a couple of workouts the last couple as well, and they were just crazy. They just hired out a gym that isn't big enough because the amount of media that turn up for one event in Manila is just crazy.
Yeah, and you get a
hundreds
lot
people.
of fans just turn up for the press conference as well, don't you? That's one of their best markets for them, I think. It's genuine enthusiasm there, a lot big fan base, so good for them. You guys seem to be well traveled. What are the countries you've been to? Very interesting. I've been on before the pandemic. I was just following the One Championship circus around with Leon. So I think we went to Tokyo, didn't we? KL, where you live. Where else did we go? Manila a couple of times.
Manila,
Singapore.
Jakarta.
Jakarta. Yeah.
Bangkok.
Yeah. Other than that, I barely left England before I joined South China Morning Post in Hong Kong. So that was becoming a new way of life for me, traveling around. But not lately. Drake, have you broadened your horizon? Oh, me. You like
well
that?
Done. Well played.
Yeah, mainly, Leon, it's just much better way of life out here, and it's sunny all the time, or most of the time, if it's not raining really hard, but it's hot all the time. And the money's I got a lot more money than I got at ESPN, and just enjoy the life out here way more. It just suits me. I don't really like England anymore. I've been there for 29 years or whatever. I was a bit bored of it. I wanted to check out something new, and Asia was just love traveling in Asia. Suits my kind of pace a bit more out here. Just and I'm 5'6", so like I'm not kind of dwarfed by everyone in Asia. Cool. Yeah, you've met me plenty of times.
I know, really, but I don't really take much notice of people's heights, really. I don't think.
That's
I may do, but just
yeah.
I never really. Yeah, didn't really.
There you are. Thoughts to Pettis' PFL debut on Friday night. You looking forward to that, guys?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm excited for the PFL in the tournament. Like, I'm not interested really in the Clay Collard matchup. I mean, Anthony Pettis looked good in his last fight, and he's on his first winning streak since he became champion now. So he's looking better against proper competition, I guess you could say. But I don't know. It's just not the same Pettis as we were once used to seeing. So it doesn't get me super excited. But I'm excited for the PFL to be back. But this fight in particular is not the one that screams out at me like you got to see this one.
Isn't it Thursday night?
Is it?
I thought so.
Oh, no, it's Friday. Yeah. I know. They moved them to Friday.
I don't know. Well, somebody let us know. I guess we can look it up ourselves. What do we got?
Yeah, Friday, April 23rd.
Oh, okay then. I thought they were originally set for Thursdays, though.
Oh, but this one's Friday, and then PFL 2 and 3 are on Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So there might be a reason why it's this on Friday this week instead of
no Bellator. That's probably why.
no Bellator.
Yeah. Will Drake be interviewing Ramona since she's cornering Nala Yang? I didn't realize she's in Jacksonville.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Yeah, no, I don't have it planned, but we can try. We can see what we can do.
I can put you in touch with her if you need.
Of course.
Okay, sounds good. More questions. Sorry, just multitasking a little bit here. I thought you were like 6 foot, and don't worry, I'm 5'8", not much bigger. Yeah, I wish I was 6 foot. Jeez. Maybe I should just hide behind this camera. Yeah, I wish I was 5'8". But like I say, in Asia, man, it's pretty cool. I'm like, in England, everyone is 6 foot. It's really annoying, and America. And I saw Ramona with Nart on Instagram stories. Yeah, I had heard she was there. I didn't realize why she was there, but that makes sense. She obviously trained at the Performance Institute in Shanghai, so I'm sure they are good mates, and that is cool. I will try and get in touch, or maybe Drake can grab her for a one-on-one. That'll be awesome. Will Drake? Oh no, we already did that one. Yeah, Sepulot, you need to get out to Asia, dude. Finally not feel short for once. It's such a liberating feeling, I could tell you. Not being in the land of the giants all the time. Very fun. eye level, being eye level with people when you talk to them is awesome. Not like craning your neck up there. Yeah, and how tall are you, Drake?
I'm 5'9", so
Right. Not a giant, but
nah,
I'd still be looking up. There you
just a wee bit.
I'm taller than both you. Look, you can see. Look, I'm looking down.
Just look, you can't even see his eyes anymore.
There you go. What's a common pet peeve in your guys' industry? Something that grinds your gears.
Oh boy, what isn't?
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, the two big things. Pet peeves is too cute. Pet peeves is something that's a little annoying. Is it, or can it be something more serious? Pet peeve.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Well, I hate weight cutting. And obviously fighter pay goes without saying, but I just wish we'd do with weight cutting in MMA. That's my big beef on a big issue.
Yeah, that's a good one. Man, I don't know. There's a lot. I think clearly the pay being just so drastically, worse than other sports leagues is clearly a pretty bad one, and it gets brought up a lot. But there's a lot to choose from clearly. So I don't know, Nick, what came to your mind when yes?
Pet peeves. When you're too good to do a show because you got dinner with Kevin James and
I
you
can't stand it.
ghost
Getting big
of
leagued.
podcast. Yeah, big league by Paul Blart. Man, is that the right actor?
Yeah, it is.
but from a smaller pet peeve, it isn't quite serious. I'll tell you one little one. When Brett Wakamatsu posts 3 big breaking stories within 5 minutes.
Oh, you
like,
fucking hell, Brett.
Mate,
It's always
out,
like
please.
midnight our time or something,
Well, there's that as well, yeah. In Asia, we wake up and we've missed a lot of the breaking stories.
Yeah.
But
Right.
when he does one when we're awake, and then he does 3 at the same time, it's like, Brett, can you not just spread these out a bit? I haven't got 2 riders. I need to write 3 articles. I'm the world's slowest writer now. So, but by the time the 3rd one comes out, it'll be tomorrow.
Exactly, man. That is a big pet peeve. I don't know about other ones. I'm trying to think.
Jimmy points out clickbait articles. Yep, that's a big one for me, buddy. You know me. You know me, Jimmy.
Yeah, clickbait is annoying because it's like you kind of have to. You think, oh, do I have to do it? And then you have this constant struggle in your head, like, well, I don't want to, but everyone else is doing it, and then if I don't do it,
what do you class as clickbait? For me, clickbait is misleading headline.
Right.
For me, there's a difference between that and a teasing headline. Like, for example, if you put massive matchup added to 262, that's not clickbait. It's a teasing headline. People know they've got a choice. They don't have to click on it, but you want them to because you've made the effort to write an article. Of course you want people to click on it because otherwise what's the point? If you're misleading someone, that's where I think, that's what I'd call clickbait, and that's wrong because you're making someone click on something with ill intent. I don't know if ill intent is too strong a word, but for me, that's the way I look at it. And I think people put all bracket into clickbait. It's clickbait. No, it's not. It's just a clever headline, so I want you to click on it. But it does exactly what you say. If you click on it, you'll find out what it says in the title.
Yeah, well said.
For me, clickbait, I think it's the word itself is kind of morphed out from what it originally meant, and now it's become, if you write about Conor McGregor, post something on Instagram, and you make a 400-word news story out of a 3-word post or a tweet, that is now what some people class as clickbait. Isn't it? It's just lowest common denominator coverage of things that are just, you're chasing the clicks. You know what I mean? Because people are going to click anything that has to do with Conor. You have anything to do with Khabib. So
I agree with that. I wouldn't call that clickbait though. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
and I know
it's just the word has changed meaning, right? So
there's one website I can think of that maybe one of us associated to does that quite a lot. There could be a 1-word tweet and that's turned into a whole article. But I'm not. But I genuinely, again, partly because like for most fight announcements, I don't even do an article. I just post straight to social media to cut out the middleman. Because for me, as an MMA fan, if a fight's announced in the headline, I don't see much point in clicking on it.
yeah,
So I just tend to cut the middleman there. So I'm kind of doing a favour to the fans, but then also I'm saving myself time and effort. And
Yeah, I had big plans on if I ever was able to build a team. I want to have a live blog every day, like the BBC's gossip column for football transfer news.
Yeah.
Just so if there's a fight announced, you just put it in there. You can flip the headlines around a little bit, and because I just don't think there's a point writing an article for a fight announcement. Yeah, when you haven't even got any quotes or yeah, whatever. Promotions teasing announcements, then nothing comes for weeks or months. Grinds my gears, says WMMA scene now. That is an annoying one. Chris asking Drake, what's happening with Rise in 28 and 29? Are they still planning on going ahead?
So, obviously things are, still crazy with the whole Tokyo situation, and the Tokyo Dome event is now scheduled for Rise in 28, as you mentioned right there. And then Rise in 29 is the week after, and not for Nagoya, but it's not in Tokyo. I don't remember specifically where that one is, but that one will be fine. And I'm gonna guess that the Tokyo Dome event is gonna get pushed back once again, but 28 will just be moved to either that same city and same venue, or outside of it. But I imagine that they'll still go forward with both of these events. It just clearly Rise of 28 will not be the big event that they're hoping to finally pin down, because things are just still not great in that area at the moment. But I feel like they're probably pretty inclined to do it with the Bantamweight Grand Prix getting kicked off with both of these events. So especially with having 29 already booked and ready for the week after, shouldn't be too difficult to either move that one straight to that spot if needed. So I'm confident that they will definitely go ahead. I haven't heard any plans of changes yet, but yeah, once I do, well, you'll know.
No, okay. Misleading headlines that change the fighters' words. More gear grinding here. Yes, that does happen. I believe I've done that several times. Sometimes you do it without realizing it. Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of read between the lines, and sometimes just a little play on words doesn't quite match perfectly what they said, but it just seems so perfect, and it's like, do I go with that, or do I go literally what they said, and then that's a bit boring. There's a fine line there, I think.
Chris's pet peeve is people who don't check out apmma.net. That's right. Go have a look at Leon's Asian Persuasion MMA website. Check them out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Go give them a follow, please. Great content over there. And we love Leon. Chris. Yeah, I know. You don't want to know about their debate, the off-air hour-long debate they had about, like, it went from COVID to 9/11 to God, what were you talking about? Like, yeah,
was this in the chat? I was like, there's a lot going on here.
It's after we stopped going.
Yeah, we stopped recording, and then they had a full-on debate, just like, yeah.
I love that kind of debate, though.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was just kind of not paying attention, doing some work in the background, but
I really want to do a podcast.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do it one day. The article is out. Jimmy, go check it out. scmp.com/MMA should have it there. I'm trying to get that whole section redesigned because it's a bit embarrassing, and yeah, I need to get that sorted. I always wondered how you guys, onto your spot, did it all start from fandom, passion, etc. Yes, I know you guys. Wasn't the money, no.
I can speak for all of us saying we didn't do this to become billionaires.
Yeah. Drake, how did you get into all this?
No, I completely, how he says right there, out of fandom, passion. I actually started on SureDog, working with SureDog, but I got into that spot of writing and, doing stuff with fighters from actually just being a forum goer. So I was on there just a fan, posting comments, talking to the other regular fans and people and the like, and slowly kind of got brought on board naturally that way, just from being interested in, educated enough, I guess, about the sport to where it led to this. So it was never at all my intention to do this, but I always loved creative writing and telling stories in high school, which, wasn't wasn't the best student, you could say. So yeah, it all mixed together pretty perfectly, just by chance. So yeah, I never intended on doing this now, but I am extremely lucky to be able to do something that is in the realm of something that I really enjoy doing in all facets. But yeah, and it wasn't at all a career path that I expected to get super rich off of very fast, like Leon said.
Yeah. Leon, how did you get into it?
Wow, where do I begin? It's a strange one.
It all started on a tennis court in southwest London, I believe.
Essex. I'm an Essex boy.
Essex, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was a tennis coach for over 50. I started teaching tennis at about 17 years old. That's all I'd done. Elbow injury, moved to Thailand, going to stay with my mum for the winter to try and get my elbow better. Didn't get better. Moved to KL with an intention of trying to get into sports industry like commentating or that kind of thing. Sport, or like sport in general, particularly tennis and MMA. They were my two main passions. And then started working for a sports media company in KL, and then started Asian Persuasion MMA on the side, and then that just kind of grew, and then kind of accidentally just got a website and just started, and now it's just full time. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, Jimmy.
That's kind of
That is the one. Jiang Wei Li dismisses Rose Namin's comments on communism as a joke.
A joke in what sense? As in ha ha, or that?
You gotta read the article, bro.
Gotta go read the article, bro. No, I'll put it in here. Let's bring it up on.
Let's do it.
That's such a clickbait headline, Nick.
I know.
Full circle, we've come.
I'm joking. That's a good headline. That's a good headline because it's got two meanings, Jake. So you do need to click on it to see how she meant it.
Yeah, I was always taught clickbait. As long as you're not disappointed when you get there, it's not clickbait. So
yeah. So if it's a teasing headline, people know they're being teased, or they don't have to do it.
I love being teased.
All right.
Here you go. Yeah.
It's a Maddie Scott piece.
Yeah, it's a Matt Scott piece. I saw the comments and I totally ignored them, said Jiang. There was another line as well. I believe as an athlete, you have to focus on yourself, and those kind of comments make no sense, said the 31-year-old via Zoom call from Florida. I think it's a joke. So it sounds like it's a joke, and as in disparaging and not ha-ha. That was about it. She didn't say anything else.
There's also a translation thing here as well, isn't there? Do you know if the interview was in English? Because
it was translated, yeah.
It was translated. Because I don't know about you, last year, when she kind of learned English in about a month, how impressive was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean. She just decided to learn English, and suddenly she's, speaking almost speaking better English than myself, which isn't difficult. But for someone who's only just taken it up, that doesn't say a lot for me.
Yeah, she didn't say too much about it. I believe she's going to release a statement through the media later today or tomorrow.
That's good. That's going to be exclusively Asian Persuasion MMA.
Exactly.
That's not founded at all. That might be a lie, but I'm just going to put that out there.
But yeah, she does talk a little bit more about the fight in this article, how the way she thinks the fight's going to go. So it's worth reading it all. Go check it out.
Wait for this fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, go read the rest of the article, but mainly didn't say too much about these Rose Namajunas comments, but says they are a joke. And these kind of comments make no sense. Okay, that's that. Go read the whole thing, though. I won't spoil it all for you.
Isn't she, really? I mean, what can she say to it? She's obviously
in a tough spot, right?
Yeah, and to a certain extent defending what kind of Rose said in her follow-up interview, I think, with Ariel. We don't know exactly what she thinks, because it might not be as bad as we're made out to believe in the West, but there's certainly some truth in it. We don't know the extent. We don't know the extent for her as an individual. And also, well, yeah, it's just difficult to know. You know, I mean, we're all conditioned by society around us, whatever country we're in, to a certain extent. And often up completely unaware. So it's a tricky situation.
Absolutely. Jimmy's read the article. Thanks for the read. Appreciate it. My origin story. I just used to work at ESPN. I covered some MMA there, and then I came to Hong Kong. Was covering local sport here. Was pretty bored covering the local scene. Had a chance to go to ONE Championship in Tokyo when DJ and Eddie joined ONE, and then went there. Had a blast. Traffic was insane. We got a lot of like 200,000 hits or something for the weekend. So came up with this plan to just cover MMA for SCMP full time, and luckily for me, they let me do it. And it's a lot of work, but it's, I like working hard, and it's more rewarding than covering things I don't really care necessarily about. Like local sport isn't really big here, and I'm more passionate about MMA. So it's good that there is an Asian MMA organization. Kind of gives me the foundation to do all this. So thank you, ONE Championship.
That's it. I wouldn't be covering MMA right now if it wasn't for ONE Championship.
No, they give us a reason, right, to exist.
Yeah, and I just started covering their events, really. I mean, my first event I went to was a ONE Championship event.
I'm not actually asked about covering the UFC that much, because there's a million other outlets already doing it, and they do a better job, most of them. So with ONE, it's more original, I feel, and you kind of feel a little bit more important in that whole bubble, and kind of know the fighters a bit more and have better relationships with them and with the company. So it's a little bit more interesting for me than covering UFC. But although a lot of people will say that ONE is,
living here and being where we are, and
and it's just fun going to their shows, man. It's just really awesome. I recommend it if you ever have the chance, anyone, to go to one of their shows. Next time that happens, the Tokyo ones are just insane. If you can get a ticket there, just not only the show, but the being in the arena, right, Leon? The Sumo Hall is just madness.
Yeah, I just love me. I mean, we were talking about before. Manila's my favorite event to go to.
Yeah,
fans are just
fans are mad.
They're so patriotic towards their own guys, the Team Nakai guy, particularly, obviously, and just the whole week, press conference is quite. When I first started covering ONE about 3 years ago, I was literally one of the only media guys at most of the events. Certainly, I was the only international media at almost every event. And even
everyone loves Leon.
Some of them, I forgot Jakarta. Oh, actually, Jakarta's there's quite a lot of loads of local media there, not as many as Manila. Manila's just crazy.
Yeah, agreed. Anyways, where are we at? When did it start becoming a normal job to you guys? It still feel cool and surreal. I've been doing this like 2 years now, non-stop. So it's lost the cool factor about a year ago when the pandemic hit and we're not traveling anymore. So it's not as fun, definitely. I think you agree with me, Leon.
Yeah. That, and in fact, like I said before, running a website, before I started the website, it was just like social media. That was so much easier, so much less time consuming. As soon as you bring a website into it, it's just suddenly then it certainly becomes sort of a job. And then taking away the going to the events, that's obviously a big blow. So just waiting for better days ahead, not on that regard.
Yeah. ONE reached out to some small content creators. Yeah, they were sending everyone swag, man.
Yeah, that they did.
You want some swag? Did you get some?
Yeah, I got my mask right here. Where is it?
Oh, sweet.
Let me see.
I didn't get any swag.
Logo on it.
It's just bullshit. I didn't get any swag.
I dare you to wear that this weekend or week.
I know.
Your ONE mask.
Yeah, do it.
I will. I'll see what they do. I'll do it tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I gotta be color coordinated, so I'll wear it at some point. It's comfy though. It's a good mask.
Yeah, I might ask for another mask from them. I don't actually have a mask from them. I'm using these disposable ones. Is that reusable, Drake?
Yeah, totally. Okay. And they give you two anyway, so there's that.
Oh, sweet. I actually found the Bruce Lee collection the other day. Again, I forgot that I'm eyeing up some of those t-shirts. They look quite cool.
I think it's the Bruce
Anyway.
Lee masks.
No,
So
they,
cool.
well, there is.
He
I
was-
think there is one. Yeah.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah. No, there's a one championship Bruce Lee collection, which they launched last year, and I forgot it existed. It's actually quite snazzy. How come
I've
you
got
guys
about-
don't post? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've got about 15 one t-shirts from going to events.
Yeah, I used to just grab one every time I went, but they're all really big. And, they always give me like an extra large because they're like, "Oh, you're a fat Westerner. Go on then." Okay.
Go on.
Go on then. Yeah, have one ever done a Tokyo Dome show? No, they would not be able to fill that. I mean, New Japan has only just really started filling the dome again, I think, so it's going to take time. I don't think they would do that though anytime soon.
Tokyo as well, on a sort of slightly side issue, it's supposed to be having the Olympics again this summer, aren't they? Well, again, I guess that's definitely going ahead this year now. Isn't it? Because
We'll
postponed last year.
see. That's apparently. I don't know.
Update on SCMP merch. Sorry, Alan, I'm working on it. It's on my list of things to do. I have already designed a phone case and a mask.
They look
I
good.
think a fanny pack. Yeah, I sent them to Drake, so maybe I'll put those on the store, and people can start ordering. I'm trying to
I
get
didn't see
some
the
t-shirts
fanny
done.
pack though. That's
Did you
cool.
not? Oh,
No.
looks good. Yeah.
Bum bag.
Bum bag, as Leon says.
Fanny
Been a
means
great
something
stream.
else in England.
Thanks for joining, Sepulot. I think Ongla is going to be on the Fight Companion after the show finishes. The fight's finished tomorrow, something like that. We're going to have him, so I'll try and make it up to all the Ongla stands who were here for him. Again, he was busy, got big leagued by Ong. No, it's
Kevin
okay.
James.
Kevin
Gotta
James.
challenge him to a fight, Nick.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think. What's this? How come you don't post a live interview sometimes? That one is just Jiang Weili, because that's my freelancer Matt. He doesn't do video, Jimmy, so he only does written stuff. Believe me, I've tried to get him to record the interviews on video and put them on a YouTube channel, but he has a strange aversion to video. So
Is he not having any of it?
no, I it's a battle I can't win. So I'll keep trying, but
He's a shy guy. He's a good guy, but a shy guy.
I think some people just don't want their face or their voice on these things, and he's old school. So yeah, there we go. Exactly, Kevin James versus Slick Nick.
Knucklemania
KFC.
too.
Wasn't Kevin James in an MMA film? Comedy.
Yeah,
Was he?
he was in Here Comes the Boom. Yeah,
Here
it
Comes the
wasn't
Boom.
bad. It wasn't bad actually.
Maybe that's the link. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't want to leave it there. I might have to get out of here, guys, and do some work. But
Yeah, I should too.
yeah, thank you, everyone. All the questions and all the comments, and thanks Drake, thanks Leon, thanks John earlier for joining us. Drake, what's coming up and when from you this week?
Well, obviously, all the Fight Week festivities. Tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, we got the, not undercard, but non-championship fighters doing media day, so they'll be speaking with all of us. We'll be asking them questions, all that stuff. You can catch all the videos here on the channel. Will be uploaded as quickly as they possibly can be. And then the day after that, we have the press conference, which will be with the championship fighters, as well as the governor of Florida and the mayor of Jacksonville. So we're going to get politics involved no matter what with that. Good fun. Then Friday is weigh-ins. Obviously, you can find all that stuff here as well. They will also let us talk to John Anik and Megan O'Leary just for funsies because they like to do that. And then obviously Saturday is the big fight day. But aside from that stuff, you guys, just yesterday I did drop a chat with the champ herself, Zhang Jingnan, Leon. Zhang Jingnan. the first Chinese champion in MMA. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DrakeRiggs, or mymmanews.com. But all the stuff coming up will be here on SCMP MMA. And maybe we'll talk to Ramona. Maybe we'll get some other one-on-ones. See what I can work out here. And maybe I can get some AEW wrestlers too. We'll see if I can work my magic just in this whole area.
Go work that magic. Do it. We'll be back for Fight Companion tomorrow for one on TNT 3. Around about 8:15 a.m., something like that, Hong Kong time. Leon, will you be joining us?
I will join you.
All right,
God bless
that's
you in
good.
my presence.
Thank you. And as I said, I think Ongla may jump in the chat after the fight's finished. We could get his thoughts on the fights and a little quick preview on his fight next week. And then Leon's going to interview him after that. So, yeah.
I just posted a Charlie Big Dash interview as well this morning
Okay.
on YouTube. Anyone wants to check that out?
Do it. Go
Yeah.
check out. Where can they find you, Leon?
Charlie. Just Asian Persuasion MMA, Google that, or Asian Persuasion MMA on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, apmma.net, the website, Instagram as well. Probably there somewhere.
Please go follow APMMA. Please do that, and please
Follow
go
with
follow.
us because algorithms are not our friend. So we
Yeah.
need you to physically
Need your
go
support.
to our sites because YouTube, Facebook, they're not our friends.
They're not our friends.
They never are friends.
They're not going to put our posts in front of your eyes as much as we deserve.
Kevin James is not my friend either. Yeah, Big Rig. You better get on being the elite this
There
Monday.
we go. That'd be
And you better
incredible.
interview Maki to.
Oh, you'd be so mad at me, man. You'd be so
would
mad.
be.
You
I
filthy
would
simp.
be. I'm a filthy simp, card-carrying simp for Maki. I think she's back in Japan though, right?
Yeah, she's not here right now. I'm aiming for
There we
Sheeta
go.
though. I've been trying to. I've
Okay.
honestly, inside info. I've been trying to get Sheeta for months now. So now that I'm here, we'll see what I can do. So,
All right, good luck. But yeah, if you haven't downloaded the app, everyone go see that link going across the screen right now. Getfanatics.app/SCMP. Get your picks in for tomorrow's show, one on TNT 3. Join our group, make a group with your friends, tell a friend, tell your colleagues. Let's big this up. The more we help them, the more they help us. So we love to build this community. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow around about this time, I'm sure. Thank you very much.